Hi guys, I hope you're okay. This is the fifth video guys of me answering the 2023 examination from the province of Eastern Cape. This examination was written in November 2023. Please note that guys, there are 4 videos before this one and there will be 5 videos after this one. Just click the link on the description below. It will take you straight to the full memorandum. And you can just download the question paper, answer the questions with me. If there are things you don't understand, do raise your hand. I'll definitely come and assist you. Okay, question 5. Before I even start guys, don't forget to subscribe too. Question 5. The diagram below shows the graph of f of x. The asymptotes of f intersect at -3 and -1. And f cuts the x-axis at x is equal to -5. Okay, since we are given the point of intersection of our asymptote, they are telling us that our equation should say f of x is equal to a x plus 3 minus 1. Right, together x plus 3 minus 1. So the value of p is just equal to +3 and the value of q is just equal to -1. Are we together? Okay, now they want us to determine the value of a. What are we given? We are given the x-intercept over there, which is equal to 5. Basically they are telling us that okay, if we have our equation over here, they are telling us that x is equal to -5 when y is 0. So we just need to solve for a, right? So 0 is equal to a all over -2 minus 1. Just take the -1 to the other side, it will be positive. A over -2, multiply both sides by -2, then a is just equal to -2. So the value of a is -2, and it makes sense guys that the value of a is negative. Why? Because my graph is on the second and fourth quadrant of my asymptotes. Okay, now to hence or otherwise calculate the value of the y-intercept. I know that my equation will simply say f of x is -2 over x plus 3 minus 1, right? So for me to find the coordinates of the y-intercept, I just need to make x 0 and solve for y. So when x is 0, what is the value of y? -2 over 0 plus 3 minus 1. This will give me -5 over 3. So the coordinates of the y-intercept, I know that x is 0, y will be -5 over 3. Okay, then now I must write down the domain of f. The domain, I must check where is my graph real whenever I move horizontally. Right, together. If you have a hyperbola function guys, please note that your domain is always x element of real numbers, but x cannot be equal to the value of p. Are you together? In this case, since we have a plus there, x cannot be equal to -p. And then for range, just know that y is an element of real numbers, but y cannot be equal to q. Are you together? So I can see that whenever I move horizontal, my graph can move anywhere it can move, but when x is equal to 3, my graph is not real. Are we together? So all I need to do is to say x is an element of real numbers and x cannot be equal to -3. Okay, 5.5, you're supposed to determine the line of symmetry of f with a negative gradient. The line of symmetry of f with a negative gradient, that means they want to find the equation of this line. Just know that the gradient is equal to -1. If they said they wanted the equation of the line with a positive gradient, its gradient was going to be +1, right? So now I know that I have y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to -x plus c. For me to find c, I must just substitute the point there. This point over here, P and Q, né? Y is -1 and x is just -3. They want me to find the value of c. I have -1 and +3 here. Then c is just equal to -4. So my equation, it says y is equal to -x minus 4. Y is -x minus 4. Okay, for which values of x is f of x greater than 0? Okay, the graph of x will be positive whenever it's above the x-axis. Are you together? So they want me to find the values of x for which my graph is above the x-axis. Are you together? So my graph is above the x-axis only in this region over here, greater or equal to 0. So when x is between the x-intercept and the asymptote. Are we together? Please note that I do not include the asymptote. The asymptote, why? Because my graph is not real at x is equal to 3. So that will be the solution of my question over there. Now we are supposed to describe the transformation of f to g. Okay, g is equal to this one. F, let me write f there. The graph of f was equal to -2x minus 3, x plus 3 rather, as is x plus 3 minus 1. Okay, the first thing that happened over here, the 2 was negative and now it's positive. So the first thing that happened was to reflect the graph on the y-axis. Whenever you reflect the graph on the y-axis, the thing that will happen is that x will change. So the first thing that took place, they reflected the graph on the y-axis. Let's say r on y. Whenever you do that, you are just going to change the sign of x. Okay, you have -2x plus 3 minus 1. Remember that there's a negative there. I can take out a negative there at the bottom. I'll have -2 minus x minus 3. I still have a -1. So this will give me a +2, then x minus 3 minus 1. So for us to get a +2, that means the graph was reflected along the y-axis. That's the first thing that was done. Okay. So whenever our graph is reflected on the y-axis, it simply means that now our asymptote for x will change. It will be at +3, right? But now check. There are other things that they did. They don't have -3 here, but they have -1. What does that mean? It simply means that they've shifted the graph 2 units to the left. All together. If you shift your graph 2 units to the left, that means you'll say whenever you come across to x, you put x plus 2. Are you together? So this is 2. When I come across x, I'll have x plus 2 minus 3. This is still minus 1, so therefore I will have 2 over x minus 1 minus 1. So the first thing they did was to reflect on the y-axis, and then secondly was to shift 2 units to the left. Are you together? So for now there are two things that you've accounted for. Firstly, it was the reflection on the y-axis. Then secondly is the translation of the graph of the new graph to 2 units to the left. Are you together? Then thirdly, we had minus 1 here, but they have plus 1, which simply means that they've shifted the graph 2 units up. So for us to obtain Uchi, there are 3 things that happened. Firstly, f of x was reflected on the y-axis, and then secondly, the graph of f of x was shifted 2 units to the left and 2 units upwards. So these are the things that happened, guys, for us to move from this graph to this one. For us to get to G, the first thing you need to do, you must reflect your graph on the y-axis and then shift your graph 2 units to the left and 2 units up. So these are the things that happened on question 5.7. I really hope that, guys, the videos are helping you out. Please, guys, stay tuned and wait for more videos. Thank you.